Hello! This video is an introduction to budgeting. Smart spending for your needs and your wants. So, a budget is a plan about how to use your money. This budget helps you control your spending so you use money on what is important. To create a budget, think about what you need and what you want. Let's look at some examples. These are example needs: groceries, bills, and rent. Always have money for these things. These are example wants, such as a new cell phone or new clothes. You don't need money for these, but because you might want them, save money for them. Creating a budget teaches you how to save money for them. First, know how much money you have. Subtract that from how much, and from that, subtract the money you will spend. And this equals leftover money. For example, if you have $10 and spend $5, you then have $5 left over. Ta-da! Now, let's try using this in a bigger, actual budget. So what I did here is I created a monthly budget for one family. I took their income, how much money they have, and subtracted how much money they'll be spending on groceries, on bills, and rent. In the end, they have $500 left over, and they can use these $500 for their wants, like on a nice cell phone, or toys, or clothes, or maybe sending money home to your family. Now, this is an example of a budget where the family spent too much. Here, they also spent the same money on groceries, bills, and rent, but then they bought a new phone and new clothes, and then only have or they are in the negative for $100. So, as such, they need to pay this money back, and this is why it's important to save money in case you spend too much money. So again, if you have leftover money, save some. Because maybe you can buy nice things, like saving for a party, or saving for your children's school costs. Or if you spend too much money, you'll have a pool of money to take from. Another common tip is to save 10% of your income for future emergencies or for retirement. Here's some more tips to remember. Save your paper receipts when you go to the grocery store, or any store. That way you can look at how much you've been spending, add that all up, and then compare it to how much money you're making. If you're spending more money than you're making, you need to change something there. I have done that myself, and it is something that is not easy, but it is very doable. Another tip is to write a grocery list. This way, when you go to the grocery store, you know exactly what you need. And if you buy anything else, then you're spending things that are out of your budget. Next, and the last tip, try to use cash more often than credit. When you see this money go out of your hand, it's easier to know how much you're spending. But with this kind of, when you're using a credit card, it's harder to know how much you're spending. So again, you can use both, but just try to use cash more often. This way you just can keep track of how much you spend. Lastly, check out this website. It has a lot of tips and resources about how to spend, manage your debt and credit, and deal with a lot of just money issues while living in the United States. And that is all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.